Good evening, Vibes Nation. This is the Artist Spotlight broadcasting live out of Willemstad, Curacao with your host, V. Douglas. And I'm here this evening with a slightly different setup. Today we are live virtually with a young and dynamic actress straight out of New York, USA, but originally she's an island girl.
Yes.
Welcome, Rachelle. We are glad to have you joining us live in the studios of Vibes Nation Radio. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Vibes Nation. Thank you, V. Douglas, for having me in this program. I really do appreciate this time. And for all of those who don't know me yet, I am Rachelle Blanc, also known as Shelly, and I am an actress here in New Jersey, New York, where I am following my childhood dream. And so far, it's been rough, but worthwhile, and yes, very fulfilling.
Okay, as most of you probably don't know, Shelly and I go way back. School, church,
Yes.
uni- same university, and then enemy universities. So we've been friends for quite a while, and I'm happy to have you in our studios this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna dive right in with our first question.
Sure, let's go.
So, how and when exactly did you realize you had a passion for acting?
I can't tell you when exactly. I just know that I've always wanted to become an actress. Um, I have a friend, and I always mention her in my interviews. Her name is Krishna. She reminded me that, or she told me that when we were 6 years old, mind you, 6 years old in first grade, I told her that I wanted to become a professional actress. So that would be the earliest that I can say that I knew I had a passion for acting. But when I knew it was confirmed was when in Curacao about 14 years ago, I was in a play titled Marabo por Muri. For those of you who don't know Papiamento, it means I wish you would die. And this play was performed in front of high schoolers. And there was this one particular performance that I remember that I performed. And the feeling was different. The feeling was completely different. And when I went backstage, they told me that three high schoolers were able to receive help from the on-site psychologist because they saw themselves in my character. They saw themselves in me. And at that moment, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to use my passion to help others. And I was 18 years old at that time. So that was when I got my confirmation.
Okay, can you give me 1 second? We're going to check a technical difficulty on the Facebook page real quick.
No problem.
So we'll just switch to the flyer, which has some beautiful pictures of you, so they can
Thank you.
enjoy that in the meantime. Okay, so Shelly, we are back
Yes.
and we are live on Facebook as well. So just a quick recap for those tuning in now on Facebook as well. Um just again tell us about yourself and then you can answer if you don't mind answering the first question again. How and when exactly did you realize you had a passion for acting?
Sure, no problem. So, hi everyone again, and V Douglas, thank you for having me in your program. I do appreciate it. For those who don't know me yet, I am Rachelle Blanc, also known as Shelly. I am from the beautiful, beautiful Dushi Curacao, the beautiful island of Curacao. And I have actually always known that I wanted to become an actress. I don't have a specific moment that I remember saying, oh, I want to become an actress. Although I do have a childhood friend, and I always mention her in all of my interviews. Her name is Krishna. And she told me that when we were 6 years old in first grade, I actually told her that I want to become a professional actress. So at 6 years old, I told my friend I want to become a professional actress. So it seems like I have always knew that this is what I wanted to do. However, at 18 years old, I actually got confirmation that I want to become an actress. This was in 2000, 2006, 2007, I believe. I was in a play in Curacao titled Marabo por Muri, which translates to I Wish You Would Die. And we were performing this play in front of high schoolers because it was about domestic violence and sexual abuse and stuff like that. And there was this particular performance, this one performance. It was different. The feeling was different. Everything was different. And once I went backstage, they told me that three um, three of the high schoolers were able to receive help from the on-site psychologist because they saw themselves in me. And that's the moment that I realized that, hey, I want to use my passion to help others. So that's when I got my confirmation.
Okay. So if you're just tuning in with us, we are live out of two countries. We're live out of Curacao and out of New York, USA, with Rachelle LeBlanc.
Yes.
As I said before, Rachelle LeBlanc and myself, we go way back from school, church, going to the same university here in Curacao, and then attending
Rival universities.
rival, that's the word I was looking for, and then attending rival universities in the USA. Rachelle was at Florida, I think,
A&M
yeah,
University.
Florida A&M University, and I was at Bethune-Cookman University.
Also, I just want to say that Ronel, your cousin, wanted me to say that, we go way back through him as well. Just wanted to say that. He's also watching us right now.
Okay, hey cuz, what's up?
Yes.
So yeah, so we'll continue on to our next question.
Mhm.
As we heard, you've been acting from small. You've had this passion since you were 6, and you've been in a couple productions from the tender age of 18. Um, so did you take up any training in acting besides just those couple times?
Yes. My main reason for moving to the United States was for me to attend school because I wanted to study the craft of acting. So I attended New York Film Academy and I did the conservatory for acting for film. So I did that program within less than a year. And then after that, I started my professional career as an actress.
Okay. What do you like most about acting?
Like I stated before, the fact that I can change lives with my passion. I can play different characters. Today I can be Tisha and tomorrow I can be Lisa, and each one of these characters, have their own stories. And the fact that we get to learn these stories, the fact that we get to play these stories, play out these stories, and hopefully uh, either entertain someone or help someone in one way or another. So I love to help people. I love to act. So combining these two is definitely, um, a dream come true for me.
Nice, nice. I mean, knowing you personally, I definitely know that what you're saying is the truth, and you're always willing to help out in some way or the other.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We'll continue on with who are your biggest influences and who is your biggest inspiration.
Um, my biggest, honestly, my biggest influence and my biggest inspiration is just one person. That's Kimberly Elise. Once I see her on screen, the way I see her light up on screen, and just the way she plays roles, I actually fell in love with her when she played the movie Woman Thou Art Loose. And I was like, yes, girl, you better act. You better act. And I was like, yes. So, and actually, my first headshot ever, they told me that I did look like her in my first headshot. So I was like, well, that's confirmation. So, no, I love the way she acts. I love the way she embodies every character. I don't know, I'm just mesmerized by her.
Okay, okay. Um, so being a Caribbean artist in the US and being as young as you are, I mean, we're not 19 and 20 anymore, but still young.
Let them believe it.
Tell us about the toughest part of your work and why do you think it is tough for you?
Hmm. That's interesting. You know, I'm a people person. You know this. I'm a people person. I love to be around people. I love friends. I'm always ready to help out. So I have the mentality of, hey, let's do this together. We can win together, And what was the toughest for me was the culture shock here in New York, because here in New York, it's everyone for themselves, and there are people that I have trusted. I have even trusted someone with a film of mine, and I ended up having to hire a lawyer to cease and desist and the whole production because they just didn't want to give me my film, So the hardest part was knowing that, hey, you're this sweet island girl, but here in New York, that's not how they are. You gotta, there are people, don't get me wrong, there are people who are similar to me, but it was hard finding out that some of the people that you trusted the most, can backstab you or, work against you the way that they did.
Yeah,
So for me, that was hard. It's still painful, just thinking back about it, but you live and you learn.
that
And
is
I'm
true.
yes, and I'm definitely grateful for the experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I know some people might say that yes, you were in Florida for a couple of years, but that is still different because when
Yes.
you're at school, there's still other Caribbean students there, and you tend to hang
Exactly.
out with that crowd. So moving
Exactly.
away from that, even though
Yeah.
New York is a big melting pot, it's still very, very different.
It is very different because in my group of people, I was the only Caribbean
Yeah,
girl. I was the only one who spoke a different language, So sometimes it's even hard to express yourself. I am fluent in English. However, I express myself in Papiamento. Well, now in Papiamento and English, but back then it was, straight Papiamento. And sometimes I wanted to express myself and I just didn't know how to do that, and those moments were hard. I was here, I came to New York, with a dream by myself. At least in Florida, I was by myself, but I had St. Martin friends,
yeah,
and so it still feels like home. I didn't feel alone in Florida like I did here in New York.
yeah, totally understand that. So every industry, including the entertainment industry, is full of competition. What do you do to stand out amongst the competition?
Well, I let them know out the bat. I'm a Caribbean girl. I can speak 4 languages. I can give you the Caribbean spice. So, which one do you want? Do you want the American girl? Do you want the Caribbean girl? So that's what I use oftentimes. Um, most of the times when I go into auditions, if they're looking for an American accent, I do it in an American accent, but I also tell them, I can also give it a try to do it in a Caribbean accent.
Yeah.
So usually they like it, not enough to make the character Caribbean, but it's nice to see them appreciate the fact that I can bring a little Caribbean spice to their character.
Yeah, definitely. Our next question is, are there things you want to do other than acting?
That is a good question because I have also thought about that and I still haven't come up with anything. So, yes, I've definitely thought about it. I am at the age where, you're figuring out, okay, listen, you need to, you have to go somewhere. You have to
Yeah.
choose a path other than acting. So honestly, I am still there. I am still thinking. People have told me that I am great with children. I'm great at teaching. So I've explored that option. Um, I've explored entrepreneurship. I've even explored helping my dad out with his company, even though it's completely out of my comfort zone. But I'm still figuring that part out.
Okay, okay. So that is, again, is totally understandable. Like, we're both at the age where, like you said, we're still trying to figure things out. I mean, between my husband and I, we run like 7 companies at the moment. So eventually we have to focus on one thing, but or maybe a couple, but maybe not 7. But yeah, like, you just don't have to be afraid to try, because
Exactly.
failing just means that you tried and maybe that wasn't for you, but at least
Exactly.
you've tried, and you never know what can come out of it.
That's true. Well, I'm already helping out my dad with his company, so I'm doing something. So I'm still exploring that part.
Okay, okay. So, what is your best role so far?
Hmm.
Your best and your favorite?
Mm. It's hard because you guys will never see that movie. Oh my god. Um, I would have to say that it would be Andra. That is actually the movie that I was telling you about. That um, yeah, we've had to involve a lawyer. Um, she was this girl, in search of love, in search of true love, and in her search, she finds the true love, and she also helps her sister to find true love. And it was an interesting character to play. There were emotions that I had to revisit. That it was hard, but like I said, again, once I looked back at the footage, it was very, very, very fulfilling. So I am very sad that it's been shelved, but yes, that would be my favorite role that I've played so far.
Do you think you'll ever create anything similar to that, so that you can maybe recreate that feeling?
Um, I don't want to talk too much, but I do have a couple of ideas
Okay,
that
okay.
we soon.
So, I mean, me knowing you and knowing where you've come from, I consider you as as a successful person.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
so tell us, how has success changed your life?
See, how has it changed my life? These are some good questions you're asking, Miss B. Um, you know, and if I'm completely candid, you see me as a successful person, but I and if I take acting for example, because I set such high standards for myself, I don't see me. I know that I have succeeded in a couple of stuff, but I haven't gotten to the part where I want to be yet. So I think these small successes that I've had right now, they have changed me in the way that they are pushing me to attain the one success that I want to. attain. I don't know if that make that if that's understandable, if you can understand what I
Totally
mean.
understandable.
So it's definitely pushing me. For example, um, due to the pandemic, you already know in Curacao we've been down for a year and a half, or for a year, and I was in Curacao for that amount of time.
Yeah.
So away from acting, away from my craft, and I've had successes in Curacao while I was there. I've had personal successes, meaning me personally as a person. I've had successes within my dad's company. I've had those. However, the fact that I haven't attained the success that I want to attain in acting made me want to return to America to attain that success.
Okay, I totally understand that, and I definitely understand what you mean with wanting to return so that you can attain that success. Because at one point we were starting to think that you were going to be staying here.
Yes.
Because I know everyone was like, "When is Shelly? Is Shelly leaving? When is she leaving? What happened?"
Yes, yes. And again, because of the successes that I had in Curacao, everyone thought that, hey, you're succeeding here in Curacao, so why
Hmm.
don't you just stay?
Yeah,
You
but it's
know,
not what you want personally.
no, no, it wasn't. And the fact that I do have family that is backing me up and who do understand it, even though I have those successes in Curacao, there was one success that I really want to attain more than anything.
Okay, nice. So, we have like two more segments to go.
No
So
problem.
our next part is we're gonna shoot you some rapid fire questions and see what your
Ooh,
answers are.
okay.
It's just five of them.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the first one, what's the best thing that happened to you this month?
Being able to return.
Okay. If you could teach one subject in school, what would it be?
Drama, acting.
What's your favorite beverage?
Ooh. Anything with sugar in it.
What is your favorite birthday cake?
Red velvet. For anyone who knows what red velvet, okay? Red velvet or tres leches. One or the two.
Okay. And our last rapid fire, what is something you can't do?
Ooh, I'm a child of God. There isn't anything I can. One thing that I can't do. One thing that I can't do. One thing that I can't do. Ooh. Um. Oh, I can't braid. I can't braid.
Okay, we share that. Okay, so now before we end, we're getting close to the ending.
Okay.
We have two clips that you have sent us that we'll be
Yes.
showing this evening. Can you go ahead and tell us about them and introduce them?
Okay. So which one are you showing first?
It's totally up to you. We have the one that was live and then we have the teaser.
Okay. So the live one. Um. Actually, I'm very proud of that one. I'm not gonna lie. Why? Because I was on stage twice in New York and once in Atlanta. So I actually made my acting debut in Atlanta on stage. Um, so that one is called The Defiled Bed 2. And I actually played two characters. I played an angel and I also played a pastor. So the clip that I sent to you, that was the pastor uh, role. And she came in helping a young lady who was experiencing um, violence at home, domestic violence. And the pastor comes in, and with her expertise and with her testimony, she actually gets the young lady, well, no, she doesn't get her to she doesn't get her to realize the problem that she's in, but she tries. You don't have to show the whole entire clip because I know it's 4 minutes, but just a minute. Yeah.
I mean, we were going to show the whole thing, but I
Oh
mean,
lordy. Okay. Whatever works for you. um so that one, that's the defiled bed 2, and the teaser is actually um hmm, that that movie is called Birthday Wish. And I actually, fun fact about that movie, I turned 30 while shooting that movie. So I was on set for my 30th, and I wrote this movie. I directed it as well. So it's been a little bit. I came to Curacao and it was on hold, but now that I am back in the States, I'm hoping that I can finish. Well, not hoping, let's not say hope. I am going to finish it, finish editing it, and so that I can put it out and send it to film festivals. So, Birthday Wish is about this young lady who wants to have everything perfect. She wants to have a man before she's 30. And she goes on a search, and sometimes when you're searching and it's not in God's will, you end up with everything else but God's will. So that we will just follow her journey within this movie.
Okay, so first we're going to see the Defiled Bed 2, and
Yes.
then we'll see the teaser for Birthday Wish.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Plans for me to do the worst. Once word got out to the media, my life was ruined after that. My husband lost his church. He divorced me. I lost my baby. And I found out that I can't bear children anymore. I fled to Atlanta, running away from all my problems. But at least I found God and I found my faith. But by the time I found the new me, it was too late. Because my sister, she put a gun to her head and killed herself. And I never got a chance to make it right by her. Amira, when Satan has you in sin, that man will get the worst out of you. Did you love your lover? Who, Senator Joshua David Brown? I love that man more than I love my self-respect and my integrity. I was so lost in what I thought was love that I was blinded to see that I was hurting my own flesh and blood. And then I found out that he was cheating on me. Can you believe that? He was cheating on the cheater. But Amira, I was so hurt and angry that I wanted to do anything just to get back at this man so he could feel the pain that I was feeling. So you know what I ended up doing? I slept with his competition. Yes. It just became worse after that. Because I started drinking that dark liquor, morning, noon, and night, crying over somebody that didn't belong to me. What about me? You think I'm not going to get after all of that, Amira? Amira, before you love anybody else, how about you start by loving yourself first, honey? Find out if you're looking for a man or your father. I found out that knowing who I am as a woman and where I'm going is more powerful than anything else. No one can take that power away from you, Amira. And with God on your side, I know that one day you'll be a great mother, a great wife, and a great mentor to someone just like us. I don't know. Now go for words. Okay, so how about we start by stop buying their love? Let them love you for who you are. Mary, you're a beautiful woman. Let them see who you are. Find out who you are as a woman so that things won't get twisted when desperate times come. Because trust me, it will.
There we go. And that was the defiled bed too. Yes, I'm still getting used to these radio controls. Yeah, yeah, so now we're going to see the teaser for Birthday Wish.
All I wanted for my 30th birthday was to have a boyfriend, be in a committed relationship. You have your own life to live designed by God. Where is your faith, Faith?
Happy 30th birthday, beautiful.
And that was the teaser for Birthday Wish.
Yes.
Definitely excited to see when that comes out.
Yes, I have actually put a deadline for myself before the end of the year. That one has to be done and out.
Okay, so we'll all be waiting for it.
Yes.
And fun fact, like our birthdays are just 2 days away.
Days apart.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 days apart.
Days apart. Yep. Yep.
So Aries gang.
Hey.
So we're pretty much at the end of our interview this evening. Thank you again so much for allowing us to be able to interview you. Even though it wasn't short notice. But like you said, you're always there to help, and we appreciate you showing that willingness to be there for the ones you care for and your friends. And yeah.
No,
So no,
yes,
go ahead.
no, thank you again for having me because I definitely, appreciate this. It's always an honor when someone thinks of my art as important enough to share it with the world. So I definitely thank you for that.
And that is what we aim to do with the show Artist Spotlight. It's to highlight those who maybe the world doesn't know about as yet, and help give them that little boost to get them out there.
Thank you. And fun fact, this is my first interview after like a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh,
So,
wow. Well, thank you.
so yeah.
So we have one last question for you before we leave. How has no, sorry, you already answered that. I was going to ask you, how has the year 2020 impacted you?
Oh no, you haven't.
Okay, so you want to answer it?
Sure. It made me get in touch with who Rachelle Blanc really
Okay.
is. I got to know myself a little bit more, my strengths, my weaknesses. I was forced to deal with my weaknesses and work on my weaknesses. So, yeah, the 2020 was definitely needed for me. I needed the time away from New York and New Jersey. The time in Curacao has definitely helped me out with that.
Okay. And our very last question. What message would you have for your friends? What message do you want to leave with your friends before we close? With your fans and your friends?
First of all, I love you and thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the support because I know that acting is not something that's common, especially on an island that's so small with where actually the ideal job is a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. So I thank you for your support. I thank you for believing in my talent and believing in my dream. And with that being said, always, 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 always follow your dream, even if it's after work. Try and squeeze some time for your dreams because once you're actually following your dream or you're working in your passion, you will feel different. It's a different type of feeling that I wish everyone could feel.
Okay, thank you for that, and that is definitely a good message to leave behind with with your fans, your friends, the audience, everyone tuned in and listening. Okay,
Thank you.
so yeah, you're very, very welcome. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Vibes Nation Radio. This was Artist Spotlight. As you see, we were in a different setting today. a different setting, a different kind of artist. So far, you have gotten used to seeing musical artists in our studio, but being an actress is also an artist. So whether you're an actress, an actor, some kind of visual artist, sculptor, painter, anything, if you want to get highlighted in on Artist Spotlight, you can go ahead and give us a call, send us a message. Just let us know who you are and that you are willing to put yourself out there. We're always here to help get you started on your career, or get you further in your career. So be it. So once again, thank you for tuning into Vibes Nation Radio. This was your host, B. Douglas. And we want to remind you to tune in tomorrow morning for the Morning Loft. That is at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time with yours truly, V. Douglas, where we talk about, some motivational encouragement and, help you get your day started right. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. And once again, thanks for tuning in to Vibes Nation Radio. Like I said, this was your host, V. Douglas, and Vibes Nation Radio. Indulge your senses.